All right, if you're building anything with AI, you already know that just making it powerful isn't enough, right? The other half of the job, the really important part, is building it ethically. So today, we're going to lay out a practical guide to help you do exactly that. Let's jump right in.
I mean, you hear this everywhere, and for a really good reason. It's kind of become the guiding principle for anyone in tech these days, right? It's all about making sure the stuff we build actually helps people and doesn't end up causing harm.
But let's get real for a second. When you're staring down a deadline, what does being responsible actually look like? You know, in your code, in the data you're using, in your whole deployment pipeline. It can feel super vague and abstract, and that's exactly the problem we're going to tackle head-on today.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about something that I think a ton of teams are feeling right now. It's what you could call the AI responsibility gap. And look, this isn't about people having bad intentions, not at all. It's about that gap between wanting to do the right thing and actually having the right tools and a clear process to make it happen.
And man, the stakes here are just incredibly high. If you don't check this stuff, your AI can spit out biased results that just make existing inequalities in society even worse. And for a company, this can blow up into a huge PR nightmare, not to mention a whole mess of legal and regulatory problems. So yeah, just ignoring this, it's not really an option anymore.
So here's the key takeaway, right? Most teams, most developers, they want to build ethically. The real roadblock is just not having a clear, practical roadmap to follow. It's kind of like someone drops you in a brand new city and tells you to find your way around without a map. It's tough.
But here's the good news. That map, it actually exists. So in this next part, we're going to dive into your ethical AI toolkit. We're talking concrete tools, real concepts you can start using right away to close that responsibility gap for good.
And the best part is, you don't have to figure this all out by yourself. The global AI community is cranking out tons of amazing resources. You've got platforms like Hugging Face, for instance, which are just packed with open source tools for auditing fairness, things like model cards, all stuff that gives you a huge head start.
Now, one of the absolute biggest things these tools help you fight is something called algorithmic bias. So what is that? Well, at its heart, it's when an AI system's results are skewed, unfairly favoring one group or putting another at a disadvantage. And the tricky part is, it's usually not on purpose. The AI just learns from the biases that are already baked into our data and our.
And this is a perfect example of how that chain reaction works. Let's say your input data is a bunch of old loan records, and those records have historical biases in them. Well, the AI is just going to learn that bias like it's a rule. It has no idea it's being unfair, it just sees a pattern and goes, okay, got it, and then it just keeps replicating it, creating this really damaging cycle.
So how do you actually fight this? Well, here's a really simple 3-step process you can follow. First, identify. You got to pinpoint the sensitive stuff in your data, things like race or gender or age that could be vulnerable to bias. Step 2 is to audit. Run your model through one of those ethical AI tools and just see how its predictions change for different groups. And finally, analyze. Look at the fairness metrics. Are you seeing big differences? This whole process takes something that was invisible and makes it visible, giving you a real starting point to fix.
Okay, but having the right tech tools is really only one piece of the puzzle. The other massive piece is the legal stuff, the rules and regulations that are changing like every single day. Understanding these rules of the road is absolutely key if you want to build AI that's both compliant and trustworthy.
And you know, different parts of the world are handling this in totally different ways. Over in the US, the approach seems to be more sector-specific. So AI in finance gets regulated by financial agencies, AI in healthcare by healthcare agencies, and so on. But then you look at the UK, and they're going for a more flexible, principles-based approach that's all about context and innovation. The bottom line is, you've got to know what the deal is where you operate.
But you know what? No matter what the specific laws are, these 3 big ideas are pretty much universal, and you should turn them into questions for your team. First, transparency. Hey, can we actually explain how our model is making its decisions? Then, accountability. If this thing messes up and causes harm, who's on the hook? And finally, data privacy. Are we truly handling people's data responsibly and securely? Seriously, make these questions a standard part of every single project kickoff.
So, all of this, it's all leading us to the big picture goal, right? This isn't just about dodging bullets or checking boxes on a compliance form. It's about getting out ahead of it and proactively building AI systems that people can genuinely trust.
Because really, that is the #1 thing that ties all of this together. The tools, the bias audits, the regulations, every single bit of it is all about one thing: earning and keeping the trust of your users. Because without that trust, even the most amazing, powerful technology on the planet is gonna fail. period.
So, what's the path forward for you and your team? It really boils down to 3 key things. First, make auditing for bias a totally standard, non-negotiable part of your workflow. Second, keep your finger on the pulse of the regulations in the places you do business. And third, and this might be the most important one, build a team culture where talking about ethics isn't just okay, it's something you're expected to do.
Because at the end of the day, all the tools and frameworks we've talked about, they're essential, for sure, but they're just guides. The single most powerful, most important ethical tool in this whole process is you, the builder, the person making the decisions. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what are you going to build?